What's going on, guys? XQ420 here. You know how I get down when I come around. I am back. I am in the building. I am dropping a fresh single for you guys. Summertime Heat. That's what we bring in the summertime heat. First time to the channel, smash that subscribe button for me. You know how we do it. Today's video, the Smithsonian. Now they over here trying to teach about some white privilege. Let's jump into it. Okay, article right here. Smithsonian yanks controversial teaching graphic insisting rational thinking, hard work are linked to whiteness. Dang, so if you're a rational thinker and you like to work hard, and you must be Uncle Tom. That's what you are. You're Uncle Tom. It's like, why'd y'all put that up anyway? We'll jump into this. It said the Smithsonian's National Museum for African American History and Culture removed a controversial graphic of whiteness from its website. And hey, they didn't remove it quick enough though, because folks got screenshots of it. Oh, you gonna try to erase history like they try and do with everything else, tearing down statues of folks. Don't nobody even know who the hell they is. Man, they were walking around. I seen one video. They walk around the city. They were asking, when did America get their independence? Some folks were talking about, but during World War One. I'm like, boy, these people are lost, man. I mean, World War One when we got it. It's like, do what? Man, folks don't know history, period. What are they teaching in school? Must be about how to write and how to hate cops and a bunch of nonsense about how white folk are evil. It's just dumb. So they said the museum took heavy fire over the last several days for the teaching graphic, which they should. We'll dive into the teaching graphic. I'll hit up a little bit of this article, then we'll dive right into that graphic, which insisted that whiteness encompassed traits like placing priority on the nuclear family, hard work, and Christianity. I mean, whatever your faith is, I ain't about sitting here, busting folks up over their faith. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of similarities in between them, and of course you got radical people. You got folks who just way out there with it. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't busting folks up over what they believe. That stuff's kind of put into you wherever you grow up at, whatever your parents are. That's usually what you are. That's what it is most of the time. So we see this graphic right here. We'll jump into that graphic right here in a few minutes. But it said the museum in a late Thursday statement announced that it removed the graphic from its website following the outcry. Well, yeah, bud, you can't be putting that kind of stuff up there. Man, what you're trying to do is teach generations that white folks, the way they do things, it ain't right. Their values, it ain't right. So if you see some white people and they got a family, they got 2 children, a mom and a dad. Oh, that's just whiteness. That ain't what it needs to be. We need to be all single moms with your fathers running around, in jail, doing drugs. Like, no, man. Man, there's people like that on both sides of the spectrum. White, black, Asian, Mexican. It don't matter. I mean, this ain't got nothing to do with a particular color. But it's just all, man, we just going right back to color, bud. Content of your character. Hey, Martin Luther King. I bet you these people don't even know his speech. Content of your character. So this said the statement began at the National Museum of African American History and Culture. We believe that any productive conversation on race must start with honesty, respect for others, and an openness to ideas and information that provide new perspectives. Well, honesty, and then you said respect for others. But y'all was saying what supposedly white folks were doing is wrong. And they evil. They the devil. The devil's work. That's what they do. It said, in that context, we recently unveiled Talking About Race, an online portal providing research studies and other academic materials from the fields of history, education, psychology, and human development. You got to watch that stuff. But folks, I'm seeing this more and more now, what they're teaching, man. All they teaching right now is hate. That's all they teaching. They ain't actually teaching no history. They ain't teaching how to make things better. Teaching how to hate the white folks. Hate folks around you. That's all it's doing. So now it's hate the white folks. So now if they ain't got a mask, hate them. And even if they do got a mask, stay far away from them. And they just want you to stay divided. Can't y'all see this? Can anybody see it? I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious. I was saying this back in March. I'm like, what are we doing? fever and a cough. Man, we got to stay away from each other. So, man, you know how many times folks have came around me with a fever and a cough? Man, it just is what it is. It's just part of being human. So they said our goal in doing so was to contribute to discussion on this vitally important subject that millions of Americans are grappling with. Ain't nobody grappling with it. What's happening is being shoved down everybody's throats right now because they're using this stuff for political gain. It's all about the politics. Let's get into the politics. I don't want Trump to get reelected, so I got to make sure I keep this thing stirred up. It's like, dang it. Man, so y'all gonna just destroy a whole bunch of people just because y'all don't want to see somebody reelected. I mean, really? I mean, man, that's what we came to. It's all came down to, I don't want Trump reelected, so I'll destroy America to make sure he doesn't get reelected. And whatever we got left, that's fine with me. It's like, it doesn't even make any sense. So, I'll skip over all this right here because we're gonna get into it on the actual graphic. But it's saying right here, what else is on the offending graphic? So the museum's talking about race page defines whiteness and white radicalized identity as the way that white people, their customs, cultures, and beliefs operate as the standard by which all other groups are compared. It's like, man, you know there's trash white folks, right? I mean, there's trash black folks, there's trash white folks, there's trash Mexicans, there's trash Asians, there's trash Aborigines. I mean, all of it. Aborigines count. I mean, but you can't just say that one single person, one single race is the superior and the way they do things is just trying to get more people to do things the way they're doing, because there are, in fact, other people in that same race that are doing the wrong thing. So, I mean, I don't know why. Man, folks ain't making a damn sense right now. And they just spitting this type of nonsense. Ain't got no problem, but it's what they teaching children at school right now. That's why all these young adults right now, white, black, and everything, that's why they so screwed up in the head. Because they've been indoctrinated. They ain't been taught nothing. It's all indoctrines. So it said important topics on the page includes white fragility, white nationalism, and white supremacy. There it is. The whites of the devil's supremacy, which is white. Well, folks, they go right for your throat with everything. So let's check out this little flyer right here. I guess it was on their site at one time. So we'll click on it. So here we go. Aspects and assumptions of whiteness and white culture in the United States. So it says white dominant culture or whiteness refers to the ways white people and their traditions, attitudes, and the ways of life have been normalized over time and are now considered standard practices in the United States. I mean, I guess, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Shouldn't everybody want to, well, I mean, I personally don't want to have kids, but I mean, if you want to get married, have kids, stay with your wife, have a family, what they got to do with being white, black, brown, blue, whatever? I mean, ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It said that since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, dang, we have all internalized some aspects of white culture, including people of color. People of color, you've left your roots. You left your African roots. Man, they got families and stuff out there, don't you? They also got lions and hyenas and crocodiles and stuff that'll eat you. I mean, I don't know if you want all that. I don't know if you want all that heat coming your way. So let's say right here, the rugged individualism. And I guess, I don't know if this is supposed to be a black person or not. With the, I'm guessing so, because that's a white hand right there. So this must be, I guess it's a black person. I don't know. It's a stick man, like a sledgehammer. So rugged individualism. The individual is the primary unit. Self-reliance, independence, and autonomy highly valued, rewarded. Individuals assumed to be in control of their environment. You get what you deserve. So by yourself, don't care about nobody else, bump them. And I I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. You got to have somebody. Look, man, you ain't gonna make it through life without having somebody. You gonna need somebody. A rugged individual. Hey, look, I want everybody to be individuals, but eventually you're gonna need some help. You can't do everything. So here's what they got to talk about: the family structure. This is just white folks. This is white folk thinking right here. The nuclear family: father, mother, 2.3, or what's that? 2 to 3. It says 2.3 children is the ideal social unit. Well, I guess it's however many they have. You know, beliefs got to do a whole lot with how many children you have. I know Catholics don't use birth control. So, man, it's just until menopause, but I'm gonna keep plugging away at this thing. You know, whatever happens, happens. So, I mean, they end up with 5, 6 kids. I mean, there were black families back in the day that were having 10, 11, 12 kids. You heard that a whole lot. And I feel sorry for them women back then, Bo. I mean, they stayed up on the operation table. It said husband is the breadwinner and head of household. Well, I mean, potentially, I don't know, women are making more money now too, so that ain't always the case. I know actually of a couple individuals that stay-at-home dads. I said, "Well, lucky you, stay-at-home dad, woman knocking out the park." And what difference does it make who makes more money? You're supposed to be coming together. If you're with somebody, you're supposed to be bringing your resources together to benefit both your lives. But I guess that ain't the way we should see it. They said wife is homemaker and subordinate to the husband. That ain't the case. I mean, it ain't the case at all. That ain't the way it's got to be. I mean, now look, nature has already cultured us to be men. Men are usually more stronger, usually do more of the physical activities, and women usually do more of the caretaking. That's the way that nature made us. Look at animals. That's the way they do. And I don't know, you got some lazy ones. I don't know, lions are lazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, because the females usually do the hunting. They take care of the pups and do the hunting. So I mean, they all the way out there. While the men come by and say, "Man, good thing you caught something to eat for me. I'm gonna go on and chomp." So I mean, lions are lazy. At least the male ones anyway. I don't know, but they big though. So they said children should have own rooms, be independent. What's wrong with a kid having their own room? I mean, man, as they get older, they need their own rooms, man. Stuff starts to change on them. Man, you don't want, man, you don't need kids to just be in the same room. You know, somebody hit puberty, now they got a boner on them and all kind of stuff, man. That's when you get into all kind of different type of nonsense at the house. You try to have people over or something like, no, man, they need to have their own space. I'm fine with that. You know, and if you can't afford it, you know, you got to try to work around that. So it said emphasis on scientific method, objective, rational, linear thinking, cause and effect relationships, quantitative emphasis. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. I mean, I don't know what that's got to do with whiteness at all. So it said the history is based on Northern European immigrants' experience in the United States, heavy focus on the British Empire, the primacy of Western Greek, Roman, and Judeo-Christian tradition. Well, I mean, that's where the white folks came from. I mean, so I mean, I mean, stuff changes over time. It's okay for it to change. And they say Protestant work ethic. Hard work is the key to success. How dare you? I don't want to work hard. I want it to be given to me. It ain't no problem. They gonna give it to you, all right. And you ain't gonna have a whole lot. But you got to go out there and work. And say work before play. Of course, you work before you play because you got to get stuff done. I mean, folks don't get that because they ain't out here having to grow their own food and stuff. But you talking about back in the day where you didn't have this whole structure system where you just go to the grocery store and stuff. I mean, you had to produce something to barter with, or you had to make do your own food at the house. Grow your own crops. But if you out there just playing all day, say, "Dang man, we didn't sow no seed today." I said, "Ain't no problem. You'll just starve right here shortly." You know what I'm saying? So you'll learn. Yeah, you need to work before you play. Says if you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. That ain't always the case. I mean, sometimes you just got bad luck, but if you keep plucking at it, eventually you can get where you want to be. You just got to you got to put the work in. So let's say right here, religion, Christianity is the norm, which is the norm in America. I mean, that's the normal thing. So, I mean, that's what it was kind of founded on. So, I mean, so what? I mean, If you want to be Islam, Buddhism, Cooties,ism, or whatever else there is, I mean, you do your thing, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't that. I mean, it's just a whiteness thing. There's plenty of black folks that are Christians. Status, power, and authority. Wealth equal worth. Your job is who you are. Respect authority. Heavy value on ownership of goods, space, and property. Man, don't they know that there's black millionaires? Did somebody forget this? The folks at the Smithsonian, did y'all forget that there's millionaires? There are black people that are millionaires and billionaires. Go ask Robert Johnson. Ask him, hey Robert, did somebody hand you this money? Did you go work for it? I mean, that's all I want to know. So future orientation, plan for the future. Hey, that sounds good to me. That sounds what everybody should be doing. Delayed gratification. Progress is always best. Tomorrow will be better. Do y'all see what I'm looking at right here? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with any of this stuff up here. This is just stuff that, as a human being, you should be striving to do. It said time. Follow rigid time schedules. Time viewed as a commodity. Well, it is. Man, time is the most precious commodity because you don't get it back. You don't get any of your time back. Every day that passes by is a day you closer to the grave. I mean, you don't get none of that back. Then they say aesthetics, based on European culture, steak and potatoes, bland is best. I don't know about that. A whole lot of white folks be eating some old crazy stuff. I'm a bland guy myself, but that ain't had nothing to do with no white folk. I mean, that's just because I'm just a picky eater. I mean, it's all there is to it. So it said, woman's beauty based on blonde, thin Barbie. I don't know. Some folks like some BBWs. Let them like the BBWs. I don't know about that. Man's attractiveness based on economic status, power, intellect. I mean, black women, black women, they try to go after a man who's doing okay. White women do. Mexican women do. Most of the time, you're trying to get into a better situation. I feel like. So I don't know if that's got to do with their attractiveness, because I know a whole lot of trash dudes that have been picking up plenty of women. They ain't hitting on nothing except what they doing in the bedroom, smacking that thing out. That's about all they hitting on. So it said holidays based on Christian religions. Man. So what you? Well, go find the African religions, okay, or the holidays in Africa, and see if you can get it passed, man. I don't know. Just go somewhere else. Justice based on English common law, protect property, entitlements, intent counts. Yeah, I mean, all that sounds good. I mean, are y'all seeing what I'm talking about here? Y'all see anything that would make you just jump out of your chair and be like, oh, that's just nothing but white folk thinking right there. So you say competition be number one? Yeah, win at all costs. I mean, you just decision making, majority rules. I mean, man, if you're going out and you're playing a game, don't you want to win? I mean, ain't no point of playing if you ain't going to win. And we see this last one, communication. The King's English rules. Written tradition. Avoid conflict, intimacy. Avoid intimacy? Do what? Don't show emotion. Don't discuss personal life. Be polite. So y'all see this up here right now. Look, in closing on this, the Smithsonian. What are y'all doing? Y'all supposed to be promoting history. Y'all out here spreading propaganda and nonsense. That's all y'all doing. And look, eventually it's going to come to a point where white people are going to start pushing back on this stuff, and then we're going to have an issue. But it's going to be, they're kind of staying in the background right now. So yeah, but eventually it's going to get to the point where they'll just get tired of hearing the shit. And they're going to be like, look, bud, I ain't going to hear it no more. All right, we're going to have to do something about this. And that's when we're going to get into dangerous times for sure. So, I mean, we need to stop with all this trying to divide people. Stop with all this, oh, the race, oh, you just doing what white folk do. Man, you know what you should be doing? You should be out there gang banging. You should be out there doing women and getting them pregnant and leaving them single if I not pay child support. Man, they ain't got nothing to do with white, black, whatever. All races do that kind of stuff. And they're filth, the ones that do it. But, I mean, we can't just equate, certain things to being white or black or Mexican or whatever. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. As always, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate for everybody for coming out here and checking out my content. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.